Welcome back, subscribers, and welcome new viewers. And I want to thank each and every one of you who have subscribed, who like and share my videos, because that helps my whole channel to circulate out to more and more individuals just like you who are seeking this information. So thank you. And I want to give a special thanks to Jake for making this video possible for me to post. So thank you, Jake. And today it's going to be about natal Pluto in aspect to natal Neptune. So all of you viewers, here we go. And I really quick also would like to say to each and every one of you who have donated, who also, all of you who in the past who wanted to donate and who were unable to because I did not have a PayPal account. Well, I have one now. And so any of you now in the future, at any time, you can look in the description box below and you will find the PayPal donation link. So thank you, all of you who have in the past donated to me, and I appreciate the support of my channel. This assists me to continue to do this and get this information out, this invaluable information out to as many individuals out there as I possibly can. Okay, so Pluto in aspect to Neptune. In general, the Neptune-Pluto aspect will promote the need, desire, and intent to realize the nature of illusions, delusions, dreams, and ideals. In the deepest possible sense, this aspect promotes the need to dissolve any barrier or boundary that is preventing a direct alignment or relationship between the individual and the Creator. Yet, most individuals unconsciously fear letting go of the sense of egocentric individuality. To draw upon an analogy used earlier, the center of consciousness for most people is the wave upon the sea. Very few have their consciousness centered in the sea itself. Relative to the fear of dissolving into the cosmic sea, most people with Neptune-Pluto aspects pursue one dream after another. Each dream being the something or the meaning that they have been seeking for so long. Okay. Yet the evolutionary intent is to dissolve all barriers, preventing the active and conscious aligning and centering of consciousness within the cosmic sea, to allow the source or creator to express its will through the focus of one's specific individuality. This aspect promotes the sense of an ultimate something or meaning to existence and reality, individually and collectively. Failing to identify what this ultimate meaning actually is, these people follow the dreams as if the dreams themselves are that ultimate thing. It is precisely through this process of chasing dreams that the realization of the nature of personal delusions and illusions can occur. At some point, the dream is realized for what it is, a dream. Some will succeed in actualizing all their dreams. Many will actualize some dreams and not others. A few will not be able to actualize any of their Neptunian dreams whatsoever. The dream, when actualized, may be meaningful and interesting for a time, but at some point it will lose meaning. Some people will quickly find out that the dream was not what they thought it was going to be. In an archetypal sense, Neptune-Pluto aspects attempt to teach these individuals that they have the power, Pluto, to create and destroy reality at will, Pluto, if they believe in Neptune or desire themselves enough, Pluto and Neptune. The current popular interest in the power of visualization and affirmation techniques attests to this fact as reflected in the generation with Pluto sextile Neptune. That's my generation. At least I'm one of the generations. I have Pluto in Virgo and Neptune in Scorpio. And that is sextile, which is an easy aspect. Okay. So, viewers, you also might have your natal Pluto in Virgo and your natal Neptune in Scorpio. Okay. There is even a current form of Buddhism with a specific focus and teaching revolving around this dynamic. Yet most who follow this form of Buddhism do not actively cultivate a direct, conscious relationship with the source through which this power is given to human beings. Most follow this path to actualize their deepest desires and dreams of a separating nature. One by one, the dreams will turn into reality. The reality of ultimate emptiness and meaninglessness. This process can take a long time, of course, because dreams are limited only by one's imagination. Yet at some point, the dreams will be exhausted. When this occurs, these people will face into the wind and with faith and nothing to lose, desire to merge themselves with the source that created them. As this process begins, they can become divinely inspired. Accordingly, the deep inner inspirations and dreams will be reflections of the higher will, the source, that is guiding them in their own unique and individual way. Whatever these individuals create or become can have lasting value and meaning as a result. From a spiritual point of view, this aspect produces a situation in which the soul of each human being can be inspired by the ultimate being. Collectively, all souls are tuned into the universal inspiration via the signs and houses occupied by Pluto and Neptune. This factor produces collective evolutionary change in relation to the areas, experiences, and dynamics correlating to the signs and the houses that these two planets are in. For example, my Pluto is in the 6th house, and it's in the sign of Virgo. My Neptune, it's in Scorpio, and it's in the 8th house. Okay. In other words, just a second, excuse me. Each individual will respond in his or her own unique way, yet be influenced by the collective generational vibration. Right, right. Because Pluto, I always forget, it's a long time. It's like 18 or 28 years, one of those two. I always forget the exact amount, but that's a long time. That's how many years it takes for Pluto to actually move through a specific sign. So all of those, there's going to be several generations of individuals having the same Pluto zodiac sign. Neptune is another one too, I believe. Well, I don't recall. I better not say that. Don't quote me on that one. Okay, but it does take several years, but I don't remember the exact amount of years for Neptune. But both of them being outer planets, they do take longer. Okay, but Pluto takes the longest. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so in other words, each individual can tune into and dissolve the barriers preventing this spiritualizing effect with respect to the Pluto and Neptune placements in his or her birth chart. Each member of a generation does the same thing in his or her own way. Collectively, then, this general vibration will permeate the individual's social environment. So you're actually going to be assisting others in your environment and in the whole collective, The collective unconscious, Neptune, of the generation is attuned and receptive to the general evolutionary need for the planet. The key point is that there is a natural evolutionary progression and spiral for the planet and the human species. This evolutionary progression is measured by the transits of Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus. And those are the three outer planets. They're the farthest out, Pluto being the farthest. Okay, and so this author's talking about the transits of Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus. So you might want to pay attention then, those of you that this calls to check out and see where transiting Pluto is in your natal chart, what house it's going through, and if you have any planets that are in that same zodiac sign and house placement. So that would be conjunct. And then you'd want to look in opposition, which is opposing, and then squaring as well. Those are the hard aspects. Now, you can look at too the trine and sextile as well, which are the easy aspects. So today being April 23rd, 2022, today Pluto is in the latter degrees, which is the later 20s, around 26 degrees, 24, 26. I'm not sure exactly right now, because I think just recently it went retrograde. I'm not positive, don't quote me on that, but it is definitely in Capricorn, and it's 20 some degrees Capricorn, and it's 24 beyond right now. And then, but you can always look up any of you at any time if this isn't the same time that you're the same year or month and time that you are actually viewing this, that's all right, because you just check out your ephemeris. And then you will be able to see. And so, let's see here. So Cancer, so anything in Cancer that you might have natally that opposes Pluto in Capricorn now. And then squaring is going to be any planets you have in Libra or Aries. That is squared to transiting Capricorn, Pluto Capricorn right now, 2022. And then Neptune right now currently is in Pisces, and I believe it's 23, 24 degrees Pisces. So you take a look at any of your conjunct planets you have in Pisces, and you can look at the house position that Neptune is currently going through for you. And then opposition would be anything you have in Virgo. Squaring would be any planets you might have in Sagittarius or Gemini. And then last but not least, Uranus. Uranus is transiting Uranus right now is in Taurus. And it is approximately, on this day, approximately 13 degrees, 12 degrees, Taurus. So you want to look and see what house your Taurus is in, energy is in, because that would be the house that Uranus is transiting right now for you. And of course, any conjunct planets, which would be in Taurus. And then opposition to Taurus would be any planets you have in Scorpio. And this has to do with the nodes of the moon too. But they're specifically too talking about, well, okay, I won't go into that. And it's an opposition. And then Taurus, then squaring Taurus is going to be any planets you might have in Aquarius, or the other side of Taurus would be Leo. Leo and Aquarius square Taurus. Okay. So let me just now find out where I was here. Okay, so I'm going to read this sentence again. This evolutionary progression is measured by the transits of Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus. The signs that these planets are in will specifically correlate to where the evolutionary change is focused. Okay, so when you're looking at what changes you're going to be going through, okay, at this specific time, depending again on when you are viewing this reading, will depend upon what Pluto is transiting, what zodiac sign it's in. So what transiting Pluto is going to be in. Again, it's right now Capricorn. And also when transiting Neptune and Uranus. Transiting Neptune again is in Pisces. Transiting Uranus is in Taurus. Okay. All of us are tuned into this process in our own way, while affected completely by the social, physical, environmental, and spiritual changes produced by the evolutionary impulse itself. The evolutionary impulse is Pluto. The collective unconscious is Neptune. The collective mind is Uranus. The collective need, Neptune, that reflects the evolutionary impulse, Pluto, translates into new thoughts or ideas that are reflected within each individual, Uranus. Collective groups of people are tuned into these evolutionary thoughts or ideas, and for better or worse, collective change results. A study of history provides dramatic evidence that reflects this evolutionary process, and how it fundamentally alters the planet and the human species. As an example, the Industrial Revolution evolved as Pluto was in Aries and Neptune and Uranus transited Capricorn, then Aquarius. Today, when the author was writing this book, today with Pluto in Scorpio, which was years and years and years ago, at least 27 years ago, and before. It could be, okay. Today, with Pluto in Scorpio, Uranus in Sagittarius, and Neptune in Capricorn, the focus upon genetic engineering, as another example, will fundamentally change our world. Neptune in Capricorn presents the symbol of man playing God in this manner. The moral, ethical, and philosophical questions, Uranus in Sagittarius, raised by genetic engineering, can hopefully guide this development into the right direction. But who knows? Pluto-Neptune aspects promote dream inspirations that can be delusive and illusionary, or dream inspirations that can be in direct alignment with a higher will that is attempting to guide and shape the lives of us all, individually and collectively. So, right. And Uranus and Pluto, they go together. So many of us, if not all of us, I know maybe all of us, I'm not quite sure, I've never really dived deep into that part of astrology as far as if they are always, Pluto and Uranus, if they are always in the same sign when someone's born or not. But I know a lot are, so if not all. So those of you who are watching, you might have Sagittarius Pluto and Sagittarius Uranus in your chart. And so this is talking about you, what I just read. Relative to the coexisting desires inherent in Pluto, the choices made by each of us and the collective choices that are made by all of us will determine whether the evolutionary impulse manifests itself as illusion or as true inspiration, reflecting a higher will. 75% of the people living today have Pluto in sextile aspect to Neptune. Okay, so most of us will have our natal Neptune sextile to our natal Pluto. The realization that we are co-creators of our reality relative to the choices that we make is more critical than ever before in human history. The evolutionary and karmic consequences of those choices will be felt for a long time to come. Okay, and I just want to really quick, that's the end. But I want to say really quick too that back to this sentence where it says that you might manifest. Let me read the sentence again. I'm not going to try and paraphrase. Relative to the coexisting desires inherent in Pluto, the choices made by each of us and the collective choices that are made by all of us will determine whether the evolutionary impulse manifests itself as illusion or as true inspiration reflecting a higher will. Okay, what I got intuitively and what I know as fact, because I being an astrologer of 27 plus years, specifically specializing in the nodes of the moon. That sentence there has everything to do with whether it's going to be what's going to be manifested, whether it's going to be an illusion or it's going to be a higher truth and higher reality for the positive good of all, is going to absolutely be determined and have everything to do with who, and if you personally, if you want to assist that higher vibration and higher truth being manifested, the truth being manifested instead of an illusion, then working through each and every one of us, working through our personal south nodal work is essential for each and every one of us, because that is what you will be helping when you are working through that. And then when you finally complete your south nodal work properly and receive the blessings of your north node, you are contributing to the truth, the higher truth being manifested instead of illusions and delusions being manifested. Okay. So that's all I have. That concludes natal Pluto in aspect to natal Neptune for all of you. So if you'd like a written copy of this, send me an email and I will email one back to you. And any questions, comments, I'm always happy to hear those. And any of you who don't know what your nodes of the moon are and you would like to know, or you would like written copies of your nodes, and I have past videos of the nodal readings in the house position and the sign. There are 2 parts. So if I haven't done yours yet and you'd like me to do that reading, let me know. And if any of you would like me to do a natal interpretation, written natal interpretation of your wheel, please let me know. Send me an email. And I have all of the information that I require for that, or doing natal wheels, whatever you like. All the information is in the drop-down box below this video and all of my videos, including my email address. Okay, so until next time.